Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the It's Maple Syrup. It is not good as Canada 138. And, yeah, it's a mouthful, that title, but that's what the sponsor wanted, so that's what the sponsor gets. We're here at New Hampshire for what should be a fantastic night of racing here. A lot of people will be using the apron as we see the eight of Matt Horton coming out of the pits. Jonas Marquez just ahead of him on track. Most of the people in the pits as we are getting ready for a pit party. Some people just like to refuse to come into the pits for that. Just waiting for cars to start firing off. I can see Christian Budd making his way out onto the track as well. In my little mini map that I got that you guys can't see. Just waiting for cars to start rolling. Everyone generally knows what the score is. I call for the pit party, but I don't actually start the pit party. As we should be seeing cars starting to roll very shortly. Oslama making his way onto the track. So too is Christian Budd once more. Smaller numbers tonight than what we usually see. I've only got 15 in the server at the moment, but Andrew Griesbaum is already here. He's normally one of the last minute additions to the pit parties. Matt Horton, side by side with Christian Budd, he's coming into the pits. And Christian spinning out there, coming out of 4. Possibly intentionally. Looks like we're going to start getting some movement now in the pits for the pit party. But let's have a look at the standings so far. See the 17 Christian Budd leading the charge in the 17 car with his 30.099. We got Tristan Help there in P2. We got Scott Rickard in 3rd. We got Nate Amoit in 4th. Matt Horton 5th. Brian Pizzakemi P6. Andrew Griesbaum 7th. Thad Faylor 8th. We have Avery McDonald in 9, and Jaron Sanchez currently in the 10th position. Go over the page real quick. There's Jonas Marquez in the double O. There's Travis Massier in P12. TJ Crampton making his return to the league. He's on controller tonight, and he's just faster than James Watson and Joe Slammer. As the 68 of Griesbaum exits stage left from the starting of the pit party. TJ Crampton on the pole. On his outside is Nate, league owner Jaron Sanchez, although TJ just getting out of the way there. Come back to it. And it looks like they're off and racing for pit party. No, they're waiting. Almost they were off. I think Nate didn't quite get the memo, and he shot off in front of them. Looks like he slowed up coming off of turn 2 so he can wait for them to catch back up. Such a fickle thing, pit parties sometimes. There's an 05 of Scott Rickard. right behind league owner Jaron Sanchez. And still no Jonathan Hernandez. He's still out with PC issues. As they come up before, we will get a start for the pit party this time. And we do. They're off and racing. Those cars lift their noses off the ground as they accelerate down to turn 1. You see the apron use already from the 05 of Scott Rickard. Things are a little bit wild at the front. Crampton on controller doesn't have full control of the car, but he's doing a pretty good job with what he's got. I suspect we'll probably see him having issues later on, as around in the back goes the 68. That was Andrew Griesbaum. It's all about trying to be fast while saving your tyres. That's the aim of the game here. Come onto the front straight once more. Oh, Jaron Sanchez put himself into the fence. Oh, and there's trouble. Around went the 03, and everyone is piling into him. Jonas Marquez just launched off his hood. And there is much death and destruction as they stop right in front of our camera. How nice of them. Oh, and around. That's Nate in the 29 car in sympathy behind him. Both Sanchez and Griesbaum also spun. There is the 17 of Christian Budd, current number 1. Not just number 1 on track, but number 1 in the standings too. He even took a week off, and he has such a commanding lead. Oh, and there goes Jonas having a spin out of turn 2. These cars so unstable off the corner. Speed's so much different to what we usually see before the patch that came out last week. The aero on these cars was fixed up a little bit. See Jonas Marquez as he's right up behind the 13 of Travis Massia. Massia, the sponsor for tonight. That's why he's got the 13 on the car in the picture. He looked up New Hampshire to see what was notable about it, and the only thing they have that's notable is maple syrup. He's Canadian, so maple syrup's better in Canada, which is why we have that title for this race. And that is the entire backstory, and I'm sticking to it. That's what he told me 2 weeks ago. There was possibly a little bit of a wall tap there by Jonas as they came out of turn 4. Managed to keep it on the straight and narrow though. He's running the wide line up in the grey asphalt, and he spins coming out of turn 2. It's going to be one thing that these drivers are going to have to watch for, is that tyre spin as they come out of the corner. There's about 9 laps left in practice, or about 4 minutes 40 seconds. There's a little slide there by Griesbaum as he came out of turn 2. He was able to control it very quickly though. So on track right now, we only have 4 cars, and they're all in the same part of the track. They're all just coming out of 4 going on to the main straight, although one did just come out of the pits. We've got Griesbaum, Slama, Baylor, and Marquez. James Watson is the one who just pulled out in front of them. Still, they are all in the same half of the track as Christian Budd also joins them back on track. I think these are such low numbers that we're seeing because this isn't really a popular track. In fact, some people would say that this track needs to get redeveloped into something else. Although the road course here is fun in a skippy, I will say. There's Christian Budd stalking the back of Thad Faylor, dives it to the inside, gets the good run, and oh, he got loose. We don't normally see that out of the 17 car. The man who usually makes no mistakes just made one there in practice. Good thing though it happened in practice, not in the race. Kyle McCoy joins the fray. His name is added to the standings list there. Now we have 16 cars. Strength of field is a 36-10. See James Watson coming to a stop along the back straight there. About 4 laps left of practice. You'd be able to start a 5th, but you won't be able to finish it. As we see Nate in the 29 car making his way back out onto the track. We do have a new person to the league as well. He's not currently on track, but that will be the 555 of Scooter Black. So we'll probably see him next week if he doesn't join this one in time. The 13 of Travis Massia coming back out onto the track, the good wrench 13. Normally see him in a Gladiator paint, but he doesn't have one for it, as the 03 TJ Crampton went for a 360 and hit the wall in turn 3. We're going to go to a commercial break now. When we come back, we will have the results of qualifying, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Alright, qualifying is complete. It's now time to see what our starting grid is going to be here for the It's Maple Syrup is Not As Good As Canada 138. Tristan Help will be on the pole in the 99, and on his outside will be the 17 of Christian Budd. Coming up next in row number 2, we got the 05 of Scott Rickett out of 3rd, and the 9 of Joe Slammer will be out of P4. P5 will be the 39 of James Watson, with P6 the 03 of TJ Crampton. P7 will have the 16 of Kyle McCoy, with P8 the 13 of Travis Massia. P9 will have the 29 of Nate, with P10 the 68 of Andrew Griesbaum. P11 will be the 8 of Matt Horton, with P12 the 21 of Thad Faylor. 13th position will be the 4 of Jaron Sanchez, the league owner. Avery McDonald in the 77 will be out of 14. And last but not least, we have Brian Pizzakemi in the 78 out of 15th, and the double O of Jonas Marquez out of P16. And that is the way we are set for It's Maple Syrup is Not As Good As Canada 138 here from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. There's going to be 130 laps to tackle here tonight. Let's see what they can do. Coming out of turn 4, pretty sure the pace car will be going in straight away. And we are off and racing for 130 laps here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. There's Tristan as he fires off down into turns 1 and 2, but Christian Budd in the 17 has a good run on the outside, and he will take the lead away as they go down the back straight and into turn number 3. It's like everyone has managed to survive so far. The 05 of Scott Rickard will hold on to the second place at the moment as we're going through the field, just having a look. So Christian Budd does lead the first lap over Tristan Help. But look at this amalgamation of cars at the back of the pack. Very quickly, TJ Crampton has lost quite a few positions. He is on controller. He's not on wheel and pedals. So he's just struggling a little bit there. They go through turns 3 and 4 once more. The 4, Jaron Sanchez, trying to make some moves up in the back of the pack. League owner. There's the 8. That's Matt Horton. 13 of Travis Massia, trying to make the apron work for him as he's going underneath of Kyle McCoy in the 16 car. And I think this is going to be a battle worth watching, although the 13 of Travis has absolutely just trounced him. Oh! Contact, big contact. And that is the 8 of Matt Horton in the fence. They both managed to keep going. No. It was a 2-car incident. Probably should have been a caution, but no one went around, so no one probably thought about it. But Matt Horton will have some pretty big damage on his 8-car on both sides now. And I can't remember who it was that got into him. It might have been Thad here, the 21 car. I don't think anyone else got into him. Christian Budd already out to a half a second lead. You see the 4 of Sanchez trying to get aggressive on the back of Thad Faylor. Make their way down the back straight. There's the 78 Brian Pizzicami trying to make a move on Jonas. Oh, and around goes Jonas into the fence. Goes Brian. Caution is out. I think Brian went too deep on the brakes there and unfortunately just caught Jonas. Let's see. Looks like from this camera view going into turn 3. See, Brian had the inside run. I probably started the slow-mo a little bit too soon. And yeah, it just seems that Brian just locked up a little bit there. And unfortunately, straight into Jonas is where he went. His right front, straight into the fence. Ooh, and a big hit too for Jonas into the wall. So the dynamic of this race could have already changed. Christian Budd comes into the pits. The 05 of Scott Rickard chooses to stay out. Scott Rickard actually getting into second place there. So he will inherit the lead. And Tristan Help will be out of P2. Joe Slammer 3. Everyone else behind has pitted. So we'll see whether this is a genius strategy or a little bit of a fool strategy here by our top 3 who did not pit. And let's see if we can dial up the 78 car here. Hey, Brian, it's Corey up in the booth. You have a copy?
Yes, I do.
It looked like you were trying to go for the move on Jonas here, but just locked up a little bit going into turn 3. Would that be an accurate assessment of what happened there?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's on me. I feel so bad for Jonas there. However, I seem to have gotten the worst end of it because he has a lot less damage than I do.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, that I was messing with my brake bias, and I was trying to get it to roll through the center more, and I ended up just locking up hardcore versus what I wanted.
Yeah, that right front damage will typically keep you in the pits for a while there. How much longer are you expected to be in the pits?
About 7 minutes.
Oof, unlucky.
We'll try to roll here in a bit, trying to minimize the damage I did. But I mean, again, I apologize, Jonas. That was not the intent. I went for a little bit later of a break than I had been doing, and this is the first time it's locked up all night, so that's entirely on me.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time. We're just about to go back green, and hopefully you can get you back out there and get some more laps as the pace car is in. Oh, he's not. Now he is. The pace car is in now. Let's make sure I'm on live. We are green once more. And what a jump there from Scott Rickard. Now, with this league, the first start's on green. All the restarts are on the leader inside of the restart zone. And the leader has lane choice. Scott chose the inside line there. And he went pretty early in the restart zone. You can see Nate with his fresh tyres trying to make some moves early. Got around Christian Budd. As we see, Jonas is back out on track. He's got most of, if not all of, his damage fixed. Jonas Sanchez trying to make some moves. So too is the 13 of Travis Massia, who lost a little bit of position there in the pits. There is the 17 of Christian Budd. He's not used to having cars in front of them unless he is lapping them. So it'll be interesting to see what the most dominant racer in output history can do here. Especially with the the stack of talent that is in front of him, although 29 and Nate just blinking out a little bit there going into turn 1. So we could see maybe a little bit of a network issue with him going forward, but at the moment he seems to have stabilised. I saw the 4 car get loose coming out of turn 2. Jaron Sanchez almost exit stage left. Oh, and around goes the 9 of Slammer. He has the 03 of TJ Crampton up there with him. Let's see what unfolded between these two. See, on the inside there is the 03 of TJ Crampton. And it looks like TJ might have just carried way too much speed. You can see him locking up. Yeah, he missed his braking a little bit. And he's just going to slide straight up and into the back of the 9. Oh, that's horrible. That is the exact same incident, just a little bit further in the same corner. So unlucky. But hopefully it's not too much damage to either car. It looks like TJ fought the wall a lot less. So too did the 9 of Slammer. He lost his back bumper there. As we get back to real time, Scott Rickard stays out once more. And he's going to have the 99 of Tristan Helf on his outside. Nate's in 3. Christian Budd out of 4. McDonald, Marquez, Horton, Slammer, Crampton, and Pizzakemi coming into the pits. Well, Pizzakemi was still in the pits. And I don't think we're going to dial up anyone on this one. PJ's usually a bit of a firecracker as is. And since he's on controller, I don't think we'll be too willing to talk about it. But we're already back in the 2x2 formation once more. Scott Rickard has chosen the inside. It's going to be Rickard, Helf, Nate, Bud, Watson, then McCoy. We've got the 13 of Masia, the Sanchez, Baylor, and Griesbaum. That's your top 10. McDonald, Crampton, Slammer, Marquez, and Horton. That wraps up your lead lap drivers. Brian Pizzakemi still in the pits. This caution helps him. He'll lose less laps while they're under caution. Pace car gets ready to make that hard left turn into pit lane. And when will Scott go? He goes straight away again. Once more getting a nice good gap over the cars behind him. And Tristan able to hold on to P2 on the restart there, although Nate looking up his inside. I think he's got the inside there coming out of turn 2. Although Tristan with that extra momentum with the slightly more outside line will hold on to it. The 17 of Christian Budd looking to get aggressive. Nate comes underneath of Tristan and will take over second. And Christian looking to follow him. Nate getting a little bit blinky. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Nate a little bit all out of sorts with the 3 wide call. And Christian Budd just went from 4th to 2nd in the matter of moments. Nate trying to fight back on the inside of the 17 machine. Christian Budd fighting hard on that outside line. He's got to get back down to the bottom. That's where he's going to gain all of his time. Although look at the momentum he got coming out of turn 4. He will hold on to P2 there as they go down into turn 1 now. Just one more person between him and the lead of the race again. Start looking through the field again, see if we've got any action going on. Everyone seems to have calmed down a little bit. No one's really fighting too hard for anything at the moment. Well, after the leaders, that is, having their little skirmish. And the 13, Travis Massia, trying to make the move on the 39er, James Watson. Couldn't get there, though. There's a 16 of Kyle McCoy trying to make some magic happen. Massia once more battling it out with Watson. Let's keep an eye on this battle. That Baylor is there waiting in the wings for one of them or both of them to make a mistake. '78 car still in the pits. He's gone 12 laps down now. DJ Crampton at the back of the bus of the lead lap cars as that Baylor now goes to the inside of Travis Massia. Couldn't get the move made there in 1 and 2. And out of the pits now comes Brian Pizzakemi. 12 laps down. Hopefully that car's not going to be too evil for him. He's actually really lucky with how hard he hit with the right front that wasn't just his race done. As all the way down onto the grass went the 13 of Travis Massia, that time in turns 1 and 2. I just realized we're also missing Thomas Harmon. Thomas Harmon not participating in this race. But we are seeing some interesting lines here from our midfield drivers. As once more, the attack from Travis Massia comes up donuts. That Baylor just trying to find any way around him, while Massia is trying to find any way around Watson. Watson just too stoic there in that second lane. They're now looking at the battle for third between Nate and Tristan. Rickard and Bud starting to have a little bit of a battle here as well for the lead. Bud to the inside. Looks like they're going to be side by side here as they come out of turn 4. Rickard will have the momentum of the outside, but Bud, he is just so supreme there on the inside. And he will take the lead back, coming through turns 1 and 2. Although fighting back on the inside with the crossover was the 05 of Rickard. Now Christian Budd, he sends it in deep, hoping it'll stick. He's going to gas it up hard here coming out of the corner, and he will maintain the lead and be back into the front position in this race. I'm not sure what the pit window is looking like for these cars. I imagine it might just be a one-stop race, especially with the cautions. Oh, caution's out. And it's the 21 of Thad Faylor. Let's see what happened here to Thad. Oh no. He's battling hard there with the 13 of Travis Massia. Travis right down as low as he can go on the open there. It looks like he's hit the grass and it's just shot his car up the track straight into the side of Thad. Around goes Thad. Travis locks it up so he doesn't spin as well. And just Thad keep it off the fence. Yes, he does. Well done. So that is our third caution of the race. And this is very atypical for output. Normally, we don't see many, if any, cautions. As we've got some cars coming into the pits. Christian Budd stays out. Tristan Health stayed out. Kyle McCoy stayed out. James Watson stays out. Rickard, the first one in for his first pit stop. And around goes Brian Pizzicami, getting one of his laps back. Now we're getting ready for the restart once more. Which lane is Christian Budd going to pick? He still hasn't really made a clear decision here whether it's going to be inside or outside. It looks like he's leaning towards inside. Yep, that's going to be inside there. Everyone besides Brian Pizzicami still on the lead lap. Few cars just coming out of the pits now in front of the field. There's Bud, Health, McCoy, Watson, Rickard, Amort, Thad, Griesbaum, Sanchez, and McDonald. That's your top 10. They come out of turn 4. The pace car is going to make that hard left turn into pit lane once more. It should still only be a one-stop race from here. And they're off and racing. Great restart there for the 17 of Christian Budd. He dives down into turns 1 and 2. He'll hold on to it very nicely there. 3 wide for third. With the 05 of Scott Rickard down on the apron of McCoy and Watson. He couldn't get the run out of the corner though. But McCoy and Watson still battling hard for that position. Nate is there as well in the 29. He wants to buy into this battle. McCoy gets the position over the 39 of Watson. Battle is still on behind. As Nate's going to sneak his way up there. Once more, Scott Rickard running on the apron, trying to get everything he can out of it. Oh, there's contact between Nate and McCoy. They both almost went spearing off into that inside wall. Two by two, they go down the back straight once more. They're fighting like it's the last couple of laps. That's because you've got to make the most of fresh tyres while you got them. It's so hard to pass around this track. Kyle McCoy is still holding on to the position for now. But Nate, he's found his groove on the inside line. So too is Scott Rickard. Look at him diving up in there. He couldn't quite get Nate, but he definitely pulls up side by side with McCoy. They dive down to 3 and 4. All the way down went the 05 of Rickard. Side by side with McCoy as they go into turn 1. He's trying to make the move stick. He just can't quite get there. Just doesn't quite have the grip on the bottom that Christian Budd has. And now they've swapped over as Rickard was able to get the move stuck. Now he's trying to use that momentum from the outside to pull away, and he'll do so. We're going to start focusing anywhere and everywhere. See what iRacing says is good for us to watch. And it's still watching this battle in the back of the top 5. Oh, and around goes Thad again. What happened to Thad this time? So he's got Jaron Sanchez behind him. And oh, he's gotten loose. You can see him already sliding. Just a nice little slide. No contact with the wall, nothing. He'll be able to continue after that one. Now this is going to be interesting. There's less than 100 laps to go now. Thad just not having a great race at the moment. As Salama, Crampton, Horton and Faylor all come into the pits. Fizikami gets one more lap back. He's now 10 laps down. We should be 1 to green next time around. The order as it stands right now is Bud, Health, Nate, Rickard, McCoy, Watson, Griesbaum, Masia, Sanchez, and McDonald. That's your top 10. It should be Salama, Baylor, Crampton, Horton, and Pizzacami after that. Horton's still in the pits though. Like he's starting to roll now. Here they go. Out of turn 4 once more. Will this be the end of the cautions, or will we still get more? As they say, cautions breed cautions. Pace car pulls in once more. And we're off and racing. Another great restart there from the 17 of Christian Budd. The top 4 has remained largely the same for the majority of the race. Although the battle is still on for P2 here. As Help was under attack from Nate. And you have the 05 of Rickard right there. Waiting to pounce on any opportunity he can. He's waiting for a clear call to the inside. So he can go back to running his apron line. He pulls right up behind Nate. And he will take over third here by the looks of things. Goes just a little bit shallower in the corner than what Nate did. It seems to be working out for him quite well. Battle also on just behind these guys between the 16 and the 39 once more. Watson and McCoy. They're battling over P5. McCoy with the inside line as it stands. But Watson doing some good things with that momentum of the outside. But McCoy was able to get around him here as they come out of turn 4, and he'll clear him. There's also a battle going on behind these guys between Griesbaum and Massier. Right behind them is also the Forrest Sanchez. Oh, Massier got loose. He's just lost a bunch of positions. McDonald now looking to get around him. That Baylor just behind him also trying to make up some positions again. He's right behind the 13 and the 77 as Avery in the 77 looking like he's got the advantage over Massier on the outside. But look at the way Massier dies it in the inside there. And it looks like for the most part we're single filed out, although the 21 Thad Faylor is still trying to argue position with McDonald. And it looks like things have settled out once more for the moment. So we'll go back to focusing anywhere and everywhere. Like the 9 Islama trying to make the move on McDonald as well now. A couple of cars just hanging towards the back, just trying not to get involved in anything. As there's Scott Rickard, he's up into P3. He got around Tristan at some point. Not sure how long ago it was. Probably while we were watching some of these awesome battles in the mid-pack. Oh, as I just saw James Watson in the 39 get up into the fence. Got a little bit tight coming out of the corner there. I think this is the stage of the race where everything's just starting to even out and play out a little bit. Peter Forrest Sanchez now under attack from the 13 of Massier. We've seen Massier trying to go around the outside there, unless that was just Sanchez trying to make the move. As cloud cover has befallen the tracks, the track grip will go up a little bit here. And it looks like the battle is just about on for the lead between Christian and Nate. Nate running a little bit of a lower line, and he's getting a pretty good run of it too. Christian just slightly stronger as they come off the corner. There's Nate trying to do the cheater line down through the inside on the apron. And he lost just a little bit too much momentum for what he would have liked there. But to the inside he goes again in 3 and 4, staying off the apron there. And the caution is out. I'm not sure who the caution is for. I see several slow cars there towards the back. And oh no, it's the Forrest Sanchez. League owner, Jaron Sanchez. He was battling with the 13 of Masia, but the 21 of Baylor there as well. And what's happened, because I think Masia was spun out there as well. Oh, and he's gotten tight. The 13 of Masia got tight. Starts drifting up the track. Nowhere for them to go. Around goes Sanchez, and around goes Masia off the nose. The 21 of Thad Faylor. And this is a terrible angle. This is a terrible angle. This is the one that we want. That's unfortunate that that's occurred there. They get turned around and get back going again. Looks like it's minimal damage, which is good. We're going to take this opportunity to go to a commercial break now. When we come back, we'll have more racing action from the It's Maple Syrup, not as good as... It's Maple Syrup, it's not as good as Canada 138 here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway very shortly. Welcome back to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Right in time for us to go back to green. And the 17 of Christian Budd immediately retakes the lead once more. The battle will be on for P2 here, though, between Rickard and Nate. Nate on the outside, looking like he's got the momentum as they come out of turn 2. He will hold on to it. P3 is Scott Rickard. Travis Massieu is still in the pits. Matt Horton has gone a lap down at some point. So maybe a little bit of damage there, getting a little bit tight in the corners and just rubbing the walls on exit. Travis now out onto the track. I think he had to serve a penalty there for his second claimed caution, is why he was in the pits. Jaron Sanchez has just come into the pits. Not sure what's going on there for Jaron. But our top 4 have equalised out. It's Bud, Nate, Rickard, McCoy. Tristan was one of the cars who pitted under that caution. In fact, everyone pitted under that caution, but Tristan lost out on a lot of positions. He's down in P9. He's just made his way around Avery McDonald for 8th. Now he's on the back of the 9 of Joe Slama. Brian Pizzakemi was the lucky dog wave around on that caution. He's now 9 laps down. And Health now trying to make another move on the 9 of Slama. And that will put him up into the 7th position now, if he can hold it. Slama trying to fight back on the outside, just doesn't quite have the legs for it. As we see Jaron Sanchez coming out of the pits, he's gone 2 laps down now. So Brian Pizzicami probably will not receive another Lucky Dog wave around at any point. As the 8 of Matt Horton, he's definitely sporting some damage on the right front of that 8 machine. I just saw that. He's trying to give it everything he's got though, which is always good to see. And look at that battle going on there between McDonald and the double O of Marquez. They almost made contact there on the front straight, but looks like Marquez is going to take the advantage, although he got a little bit unsettled there coming out of turn 2. Lost a lot of momentum. Travis Massia has gone a lap down. And it looks like Jaron Sanchez is going to be OUT out of this race. Just saw his icon change from pit to out. And now we just have 15 cars left in this race. Brian Pizzicami will gain a position, so he'll get at least 15th position. As the battle between Marquez and McDonald has really calmed down now. The battle for P2 though heating up. Nate and Scott fighting it out, trying to see what they can get. That's all about who's going to get that good run. Oh, McDonald just about tapping the fence there with his right rear tyre. His car was a little bit on the loose side. And for those of you who don't know what I mean when I'm talking about loose and tight, loose is when you scare the passengers, tight is when you scare the driver. AKA, loose is your rear end of the car wants to try and slip out, and tight is when your front end doesn't want to grip and it just starts sending you towards the wall. Christian Budd clean and clear in the lead of this race right now. And he's going to be completely unfettered here as long as we get a decent green flag run in. Nate still holding on to a very nice P2 there. Scott Rickett in 3rd. Kyle McCoy in 4th. And I'm seeing James Watson in 5th. There he is. And he's about to get passed by Tristan Health by the looks of things. In fact, he was just passed by Tristan Health. So Tristan up into 5th now. James Watson down to P6. We have the cameras set to focus anywhere and everywhere in the pack, because that's normally how we catch the crashes. Also saw there Avery McDonald making it around the 9 of Joe Slama. That's put Slama down to the 10th position now, with Avery up into 9th. still a good battle here for second, third, and fourth. They don't look like they're doing much, but believe me, they are all fighting hard for position. It's all about the micro measurements of fractions of a second and who is going to take the advantage of it. Kyle McCoy in a 16 is the fastest car on track the last lap. He also holds the fastest lap of the race. It's one thing to be quick, it's another to actually make the overtake. As our top four have just pulled away from everyone else. Tristan, 4 seconds, almost, actually, he's about 3.5 seconds back from McCoy. You see the 05 of Rickard there, trying to get up on the inside. We not long ago passed the halfway point. Halfway was lap 65. Now on lap 70. And Christian Budd has started his methodical pull away from everyone else. And it looks like someone is going to be at risk of going a lap down here soon, and that's going to be the 03 of TJ Crampton. I think this is the longest run that TJ's done with his gaming controller rather than his wheel and pedals. So he's probably feeling the effects of that with his right front wheel. And we could still see a pit stop at some point in this race. Green flag stops are still on the cards. I don't think they can quite make it all the way from here. That's very wide there for Scott Rickard, going through turns 3 and 4. He's fighting the car a little bit, coming down the track on exit. It looks like things are not all gravy for the 05 car. Nate in the 29 trying to keep Christian a little bit more honest here. Trying to keep him within a second, if not close the gap down a little bit. Tristan Health, completely unfettered by cars in front of him, has been consistently putting in faster lap times than everyone else. He's one of 2 cars still in the 30-second bracket. Everyone else in the 31s. I suspect if we get a caution here soon, then everyone will be pitting. Except for Travis Massia, who will have to go around and get his lucky dog, then pit. As laps are ticking down. Lap 75 of 130. There's just a little bit over 50 laps to go. In fact, it's 55 to go. As they came across the start-finish line that time. TJ Crampton in the 03, the last car on the lead lap. You normally see him fighting up towards the front. He is in the process of moving to a new place. And that is why he doesn't have his normal wheel and pedals. But it seems like everyone has taken a bit of a chill pill here. Everything's a lot more calm than it was previously. And at the moment, having a quick look at the standings, Kyle McCoy would be the hard charger, especially if he can get around the 05 of Scott Rickard here. He pulls to the inside. Now, these two are friends off the track, which means they're going to race each other extra hard on the track. As Christian Budd puts TJ Crampton a lap down. I think I heard a small little lift there from TJ Crampton on the main straight as he was letting Nate get around him. And it looks like McCoy wants to try and use TJ as a pick so he can effect an easier overtake on the 05 of Rickard. Oh, they both go deep into turn 3. McCoy diamond the corner. Rickard just using all the momentum he can on the outside line. They've been side by side for a few laps now as Crampton has come into the pits. So these two are going to be unfettered by him. Side by side, they're going to continue to go. This could be a battle that lasts quite a few laps. McCoy will take the advantage now, though Scott Rickard still trying to fight back. This time he's down on the apron, trying to get all the advantage he can. Gonna work for him coming out of turn 4 too. Side drafts a little bit. Back down to the apron. It looks like Kyle McCoy has the advantage. McCoy up 4 positions from where he started. He started P7. And he's now in P3. So he would be hard charger and podium getter if he can hold on to it. A little bit of a slide there for Scott Rickard in the 05. And Crampton has been in the pits for a while here. Rickard back into P4. He was just trying to maintain his starting position. Christian Budd starting to burn the wick a little bit. He's starting to put in the fastest lap times of the lap. Been the fastest the last couple of laps in a row. I think all the good has come out of Tristan's tyres, although he is still a little bit faster than those just ahead of him. But I don't think it's going to be quite fast enough to really make an impact on those cars ahead. Griesbaum and Faylor here on screen. They're battling it out pretty hard as well. They're battling over 7th. I think Crampton has some damage on his car because he's still in the pits. He's been in there for 90 seconds. He's lost quite a few laps because of it. At least he's been in his pit box for 90 seconds. As to the inside of Griesbaum goes to 21 of Faylor. And he'll make that move stick. Right, so we're going to take this advantage while everything is a little bit calm to go for the last commercial break of the night. When we come back, we will be going to the checkered flags. Make sure you guys stay tuned. More action for It's Maple Syrup is Not As Good As Canada 138 will be coming up very shortly. And we are back for the It's Maple Syrup is Not As Good As Canada 138 here from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And we had a report from the pits that TJ actually blew a right front in the race. And he is done for the night as Kyle McCoy has come in for a green flag pit stop. So we picked the perfect time to go to commercial break because now we're going to start getting green flag stops. Now let's see what Kyle can do with some fresher rubber under him. Currently looking at our leader, 17, a Christian Bud. He has a 2.5 second lead over Nate in the 29 car. So TJ Crampton going to be a spectator for the rest of this race from the pits. Kristen Health starting to put in some faster laps once more. So let's see when everyone else chooses to pit. I'm pretty sure Christian will be waiting on Nate to come into the pits for him to make his choice. The iRacing camera there going a little bit nuts, trying to figure out where it wanted to aim. Still, things are remaining quite calm. Kyle McCoy with his fresher rubber starting to put in fast laps again. He is still 1 lap down, but he's the first car 1 lap down. And I don't think he'd be too far away from getting his lap back. In fact, he's right behind Nate. And I haven't seen anyone else come into the pits as McCoy actually managing to get back onto the lead lap. So I think Christian Budd has pitted, actually. In fact, he has just come into the pits. I was looking at my other standings, and I didn't see him come into the pits straight away. Nate is now in the pits. He'll have 1 lap fresher tyres than Christian. Looks like Tristan has also just come into the pits. James Watson will assume in fact, Rickard has assumed the lead. Once Rickard comes into the pits, then James Watson will assume the lead. Bud, though, he's right behind Griesbaum on track. On track, he's P5. But he's got that fresh rubber, so he'll be coming on strong. Still managed to stay in front of McCoy as well. McCoy also staying behind Nate in the pit stop cycles there. So he is right on Nate's tail. Nate will have the fresher rubber. It'll take a couple of laps for it to warm up. Rickard stays out another lap. Some of these guys in the back, like McDonald and Marquez, having a little bit of trouble with grip coming out of the corners by the looks of things. Both of them getting the hippie shakes going. Thad Failer has come into the pits. If I was Scott Rickard, I wouldn't want to stay out there too long. I would definitely have to come into the pits here in the next lap or two. Saying that, he could be waiting on a caution. But I'm not sure that we would get one. That Baylor has come back out onto the track. He is a lap down at this point behind Travis Massia. There is Nate in the 29 car. He's trying to make his way around Joe Slama. He already got around Marquez and McDonald. Right behind them, there is the 16 of McCoy. He's losing ground to Nate. Boy, just trying everything he can to try and catch up to him. It looks like he's going to have third place absolutely sealed up for the moment. Unless disaster strikes. And in saying that, it's not even just third place, it's third place and hard charger. As Andrew Griesbaum has come into the pits. Scott Rickard still out on track. Still not pitting this time. And I think he's waited too long. He's going to lose so much time staying out here for this long. Just looking at Tristan, he's down in P10 on track. In fact, made that P9. The last car on the lead lap, as I think he just got his lap back. That Baylor having a little bit of grip issues there as he's come out of the pits. Oh no, he's gone into the Christian Budd. Around goes Budd. And Budd got an extra double tap there from the 78 of Pizzakemi. Caution is out. Oh, what the... McCoy just came in there like a bat out of hell. Caution had been out for at least 5 seconds. And that's going to be big damage for Pizzakemi, who caught that. So let's back this up. So we saw Thad getting loose, coming out of 2, going into 3. And it looks like he's just locked up there. He went a little bit deep, locked up, just grazing that left rear quarter panel of Christian Budd. Around goes Budd. Unfortunately, Pezzacami nowhere to go. And so the caution's out here. But let's back this up even more. Pause it. Go to the cockpit view. Let's see what McCoy sees here. So you can see the crash over there. The caution is out. The lights are flashing. And oh, he's on the edge of grip. He's trying to slow down. But like a bat out of the hell, he comes just thrashing into the incident scene. And that is going to change things immensely in this race. What drama as we enter the final 30 laps of this race. Gonna have a few waiver rounds by the looks of things. The Griesbaum, Horton, and I think that's it. It's going to get a wave around here. Nate is on the lead lap, and he's going to assume the lead. So Thad will have to pit here if he wants to pit. Matt Horton, I think, is the lucky dog wave around. Unless it was the 13 of Masia. Just waiting for everything to equalize out here so I can figure out what's going on. So your order is Nate, Rickard, Watson, McCoy, Slammer, McDonald, Health, Marquez. That's your top 8. Still waiting for everyone to cross the line so I can get a proper picture of what's going on here. Pezzacami back in the pits with big damage once more. That's Marquez, Griezmann, Masia, Budd in 11th. Then Baylor and Horton both one lap down. Pezzacami in the pits. Crampton says he's back out on track, 28 laps down. As we go back to green. And this has just changed the complete complexion of this race. James Watson in the Catberg seat right now. Right up there in the 3rd position. He's trying to look for a move on Rickard, who got a little bit of a wiggle going through 3 and 4. That held up Kyle McCoy there a little bit. And he's going to try and go for 2nd. Slides up a little bit just to try and force the 05 a little bit wider. Tristan Health there in a 99. He's trying to make up some moves as well. And I don't think it'll be too far before we see the 17 starting to make his way through the field. James Watson now takes over that 2nd position officially. Still a close battle between the two. And there's still the possibility of more cautions. Baylor back out on track. He's just one lap down. The 21 car. Ryan Pezzacami, unfortunately, still in the pits. And I suspect big damage on that car with how hard McCoy hit him in the left front. But in saying that, McCoy seems to have gotten out of it completely unaffected. He's still right up here, showing all the race pace that he had previous. as he gets a little bit tight behind the 39 of Watson. What we call aero tight. Got so close to him that he just slid his front wheels. You can poke the left front out in the corners and you'll get a little bit more air on your nose. As Nate runs the line that Scott Rickard was running, not wanting Scott to get any advantage on him. McCoy battling hard, trying to maintain his 4th position here on Tristan. Christian Budd is right there behind them. Tristan Health makes his way around the 16 machine. The 17 is looming. Oh, the leader, Nate, got sideways coming out of the corner, and he's lost the lead to Rickard. He might even lose second to Watson. This is definitely a race for James Watson right now. He's right up there when it counts, and he has every chance to try and take home a good result. And he will take second place away from Nate. Nate's rear tyres are absolutely screaming in pain with how hot they'll be. Health pulls to the inside. He wants 3rd place. He slides it out a little bit, diamonds it back down. Christian Budd right there to the inside of the 16 of McCoy, and it looks like the 29 had a terrible run out of turn 4, almost contact between himself and the 16. Oh, I saw someone going around in the back. I don't know who it was. Waiting for confirmation. I think it was the 00 of Marquez. It was. Big damage on the 00 machine. Go back to the front of the pack. Health trying to take second place away from Watson. Going to be hard because he's running that same line as Rickard, so he'll be tight going through the corners. Nate really struggling on this set of tyres. He's fallen right back, and it looks like he's about to get overtaken by the 16 of Rickard. Very wide he is, in fact, with Rickard and Slama. In fact, Slama backed out of that one. He didn't want to be on the outside of 3 wide. James Watson doing everything he can to try and hold on to this P2 right now, using all the momentum of that outside line. The 29 got in the fence. I saw that in the background of the shot, coming down the back straight. Brandon is back in the pits as well. This is a straight dogfight now. No one's worried about fuel. No one's worried about tyres. As long as you don't overheat them, you are in it with a chance. And this is honestly the biggest battle on track right now. The battle for P2. Christian Budd waiting in the wings there in 4th. Waiting for one of them to slip up or for both of them to go single file so he can try and take advantage. And Health trying to turn this into a move for the lead as well. But he's still contending. No, he's not. He's taken second place away from Watson with authority as he slides up. 10 laps to go. And Health trying to peek to the inside of Rickard. There might have been a little bit of contact there through turn 1. Health got a little bit sideways there, and Rickard got very sideways coming off the corner. Health will take over the lead now. Watson trying to get back into P2. Almost got the run on the 05 of Rickard. Couldn't quite get there. Christian Budd using the inside line. Contact between Watson and Rickard. Rickard out to the fence. It's the bump and run, baby. And that's the way I like it. Watson now takes back over second place, but he's going to have to deal with Christian Budd if he wants to take it out. He stays in front of the 05 of Rickard, trying to block him a little bit. But Rickard dives it back down to the inside in turns 1 and 2. Budd waiting patiently in the wings for one of them to make a mistake. Fantastic racing we got going on right now. Laps are winding down, and there is still the chance of a late race caution. Tristan Health absolutely has this one sewn up as long as he doesn't make a mistake. He's been pumping out fastest lap after fastest lap. And it looks like Scott Rickard made a mistake. Christian Budd up into P3. We're going to stick on these two for a little bit longer because Christian Budd looking to the inside, trying to make the move on James Watson. Watson, a bit of a short track specialist as far as this league is concerned. He'll drive many done cars on short tracks. And this track, it might not be classified as a short track, but it damn sure fucking races like one. And that is my one for the broadcast. Five laps to go. And I think Christian Budd's tyres might have equalised out here with James Watson. James has been looking after his tyres the last couple laps. And he's just doing enough to keep Christian Budd behind him, which is all he needs to do. 4 laps to go. Diving to the inside is Christian Budd. James not fighting him too hard on it. Didn't really close down on his nose. Didn't put the dirty air on his nose. He's just letting Christian run his lines. Christian running a little bit wider, trying to get that slingshot onto the main straight. Three laps left in this race. To the inside he goes now, trying to look for second. And he takes it with a slide job over Watson. But Watson will fight back on the inside now. Great racing between these two. James running the cheater line, getting onto the apron. I think that's exactly what Christian Budd wanted. Get him doing something that he doesn't normally do. Budd with the momentum coming out of turn 4. Down the main straights, 2 laps left. This is the battle for second, but they're racing like it's for the win. Because for James Watson, it would be a great honour to say that he was able to beat Christian Budd in a dogfight. And that's exactly what this is right now. Budd with the advantage as they went through the middle of 3 and 4. Watson trying to use the momentum. I think Budd had it at the line. He did. It is the last lap. And we're going to have to cut away from them so we can get back up to Tristan. As I saw Budd slide coming out of turn 2. But your winner of the It's Maple Syrup is Not As Good As Canada 138 is going to be the 99 of Christian Health. P2 still under contestant. And it's going to be just Christian Budd at the line over James Watson. What a fantastic fight. That was excellent to watch. Scott Rickard 3rd and 4th. Carl McCoy in 5th. We'll wait for everyone to cross the line. We get the official results up on the screen. James Watson, a happy chappy there. As Christian goes up to give the congratulatory bump to Health. Health with the win in the 99 car over Bud, Watson, Rickard, McCoy, Slummer, Nate, McDonald, Griesbaum, and Massia. That's your top 10. Go with the pages Marquez, Horton, Failor, Pizzakemi, Crampton, and Sanchez. And that is how our 16 car field finished this race. There is Tristan doing his burnouts in celebration, just tapping the wall. And I think he's out of fuel. So we're going to go to another quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have driver interviews. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right. Alrighty, it is now time for driver interviews. And of course, as always, we kick things off with our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. And today's Hard Charger just so happens to also be our third place getter. And our third place getter here tonight is, of course, the 39 of James Watson. James, we were just talking. That dogfight between you and Christian there at the end, absolutely superb.
Yeah, I can't believe I actually got to battle Christian of all people straight up for position in the closing laps. I mean, obviously, I'm sure he had some sort of damage from the incident with that, but still, it was like wild to actually, battle with him one on one and almost pull it off. And like, it was also crazy when you consider the fact that I had to fuel save because before that final caution came out, I was actually fuel saving and I was good to go to make it to the end. Whether or not that would have won me the race, we'll never know. But yeah, I was good to go to the end. And then because of that, I didn't think about fuel. So I was still having to save a little bit in that final run. So I'm battling with Scott, Tristan, and Christian while fuel saving. And I ran out a a couple yards after I crossed the line.
And that just makes this third place even more spectacular. Because to have that kind of pace while fuel saving and battling the baddest dude in the league, you know, you got to feel like $1 million right now, man.
Dude, I wasn't even really expecting a whole lot because I'm me and this track I've never quite gotten along, and I was terrible in practice. In fact, TJ was roasting me because for the longest time he was faster than me while on a controller, and so I'm like, yeah, my 1 lap pace is not there, but maybe I can conserve, take it easy, and get something. But I was shocked to qualify fifth, shocked to get fifth place stage points, and even more shocked that I was able to bring home a podium. I'm just absolutely shocked right now. This is incredible.
All right, now we know you got a few people that you got to thank. So who do you got to shout out this week?
And sir, gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Subs. Use code Watson39 for 10% off at checkout. Gotta thank Icon Sim Racing Apparel, National Racing Network, Inside Lane Productions, Boomer Button Boxes, ZAS Designs, and Dizzy V Designs for putting together my paint schemes. And you for always broadcasting here.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, James. Congratulations on coming home P3 and with the Hard Charger Award, and after having that fantastic dogfight with Christian Bird.
Cheers, Corey.
All right, guys, that was a 39 of James Watson, and he might have been slow in practice and getting roasted by the controller user, but we're not going to forget that battle. Coming up next is going to be the other half of that epic battle in the dying laps. We are, of course, going to talk to the most dominant man in output racing history. It is the 17 of Christian Bud. Christian, so unfortunate you got caught up there in that incident, but that just completely changed the scale of the race. And what a battle between you and James there in those dying laps.
Yeah, James seemed to think he could make it on fuel if we went green. And I don't know if I would have caught him or not. I took 2 tires on that stop. I thought I was in pretty good shape. It was only like a 7-second stop, so I figured, I'm putting 7 seconds on anybody who put on 4. And the tires really just kind of like they don't wear much, so they kind of fall off to a point, and then that's kind of where they kind of plateau. And I thought, well, even if they catch me initially, they'll probably just plateau out to the same as I will eventually run. So I thought they wouldn't be able to make up the gap, and unfortunately, I didn't get to find out. I think it was Thad got in there a little hard and got spun out, and then I got damaged too with that. So I was lucky just to keep it on the lead lap and get it fully repaired. Pretty much pulled out. The repairs got done like right as the pace car was coming, so. But it didn't get me caught up to the field either. So, and then it was just the battle was on, just trying to get up there, and I got around Scott. I think he hit the wall or something, and then I got around him, and then I was just trying to get around James, and he was not making it easy on me. And at the end, I was like, well, I'm gonna try and throw the slider on him, and I told him, I said, if he spun me out here, I wouldn't blame him because it was pretty wicked. And but he didn't, and he reversed me, and then he threw a slider on me, and we kept doing that for a little bit until we finally got to the line. But it was a pretty fun race.
Yeah, it was definitely a very, very interesting end to the race after you got that. And I just still I say it every time, you never know when a caution is gonna fly. And especially at a track like this, we had so many cautions here tonight, very non-typical for output racing. But it definitely threw a lot of spanners into the works as far as strategy was concerned tonight.
Yeah, I didn't really expect we were going to have that many either. I don't really know what was going on back there. I kind of thought we didn't have a huge field tonight, so I thought, oh well, we'll kind of all get struck out. Everybody's saving tires, and but yeah, we just kept having stuff happen back there, and I kind of made a mistake when I came in the first time and took tires because I thought, it would give me that little bit of edge on everybody, and then I figured, oh, we'll run green from here, and I'll have just that little bit of tire I need. And that didn't happen. I just kept getting yellows, and then I was kind of stuck staying out because I was like, well, I can't burn all my tires. So then I think it was Nate was catching me. I got saved by a caution there with him. and then I thought I was going to be good at that point, and this didn't work out. But overall, it was good race. Congrats to Tristan for winning. He's shown a lot of speed in practice and qualifying and stuff like that. So no surprise to see him win one.
Now, here's probably the big question. Do you think 20 more laps you would have been able to catch Tristan?
No, I I torched him getting up there. It was the tires were on fire, so no, he was able to kind of get up there and start setting his own pace. It was going to be impossible unless we had a caution, and I was out of tires to change at that point. So, maybe a caution, and if he, made a mistake on a restart or something, I could have maybe got him, but that was about the only way.
All right, now let's look forward to next week. We're going to be going to Kansas, where we just were with Winstel on Sunday. So what's the feeling like for you using the default set at Kansas with the way the cars are feeling right now?
I mean, I think what you saw tonight, and I think what you will continue to see with this car is that the leader has a huge advantage. It's really, uh, it's really hard to overcome, to be honest. And so, I think, what I've noticed with the way the tracks are and everything, you don't have a lot of options. Kansas, you kind of used to be able to run the top and bottom, and now it's like really pretty bottom groove if you want to have any tire left. So I think the important thing there is going to be qualifying and keeping your track position. I think we could see some wrecks and some stuff happen from people getting arrow loose when they're not expecting it if they haven't, been messing with this car, especially in like that tri-oval or whatever they call it on that track, that D shape. It'll catch you out. People drop in front of you and they'll spin themselves out with the air. So it'll be interesting, I guess. The car's pretty good now, but still missing a little bit for me. What I'd like to see out of it, but this might just be what we have. So hopefully it's fun. That's all I can say.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, Christian, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, just everybody at Output for putting on these races. Everybody who showed up and raced really hard tonight and had a lot of fun. You for doing the broadcast, and yeah, that's it.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home P2, and we look forward to seeing what you do next week when we go to Kansas.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was the 17 of Christian, the Cog Bud, our second place getter here tonight. And coming up next, we're going to have our race winner. And this is a first time race win for him. And he beats the best in the business to do it. It is, of course, the 99 of Tristan Half. Tristan, congratulations on getting your first win here in the Output Racing League.
Thank you very much.
Now, it looked like it was a bit of a difficult race. You were up there in that top 4 or 5 for the majority of it. But, a lot of cautions here tonight, which is not very typical for us. What was it like just trying to plan what you were going to do with all those cautions coming out?
Well, I was planning on staying out up until I could make it on one stop, or I can get the make it on fuel, which then still couldn't make it on fuel anyways. So that kind of set me back a little bit. And then that lap 50 caution right around there, I had to go to the bathroom. So I was like, I better do it now. At least I got 70 laps to make it up. So yeah, I just kind of weaved my way through and got back to within a few seconds. So I just poor luck for Christian there on his deal, but that really saved my race there because I took 4 tires on that last green flag stop and it hurt me even more.
Yeah, Christian was saying to us that he took 2, so he had just a 7-second stop, which gave him an extra 7-second advantage to everyone else. So, yeah, that's just the way racing goes. But, you still had to fight through the pack a couple times. And, even with your double pit stop. And, you just absolutely showed them a clean set of heels there on that last restart.
Yeah, I think on that last restart, I think I might, outside of Christian, I think I might have been the only one on 4. Because I know Nate stayed out and he had taken the 4 on the green. He didn't take any under the yellow. And then I think Scott and James and whoever else was in front of me took 2 tires. I'm not sure if I think, but I mean, I just kind of just put caution, or what is that? Caution to win, win to caution. I can't remember the saying,
Caution
but
to
you
the
know what
wind.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah. And just threw it in there.
All right, now, were you watching that battle that was going on behind you and those dying laps between Christian and James?
Oh no. I was looking straight out. I was looking straight out the windshield, praying for no cautions and just trying to hit my marks.
You missed a great race. You're definitely going to have to watch it back because those two put on an absolute dogfight of a battle behind you. Christian said that he would have nothing for you even if he had another 20 laps because he just burnt them up so much in that battle. But let's look forward to next week, Tristan. We're going to be going to Kansas. So what's the feeling like for you as we head into Kansas next week?
I'm stoked getting to some banking, multi-groove. I can work some different lines. I like Kansas a lot. I'm feeling a lot more better going to a nice, decently banked oval.
All right. Now, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good one. And not really tonight. Just kind of Bush Light. Bush Light, it powered me. It powered me tonight. I was powered by Bush Light.
Excellent. That's what we love to hear. All right. Thank you for coming out, Christian. Tristan. Words. Congratulations on coming home with the win, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week when we go to Kansas.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. That was a 99 of Tristan Health, the winner here tonight at New Hampshire. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out, and to the new follow from Suckerabomb 713. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, where all the replays are posted 24 hours later. And until next week, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Kansas.